y la verdad es que me enamoré de Shakira cuando vi este vídeo. En este vídeo te voy a contar todo lo que necesitas saber sobre los verbos reflexivos, cómo funcionan, cómo se conjugan y cómo puedes usarlos en cualquier contexto. How's it going, everyone? My name's James and welcome to the channel. Reflexive verbs in Spanish. Pretty confusing, right? Well, no tiene por qué ser así. Just bear with me, and in this video I'll show you how to use reflexive verbs, how to learn them, and how to speak about your daily routine in Spanish using reflexive verbs. Before we start, if you're new to this channel and find my videos interesting or useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You can even hit that notification bell as well, so you won't miss videos from me in future. Now let's dive in. ¿Qué son reflexive verbs? Lavarse, peinarse, dormirse. Reflexive verbs are verbs for things we do as part of our daily routine. These words have se placed onto the end. Lavarse, peinarse, dormirse. Not knowing reflexive verbs can create misunderstandings and even pretty awkward situations when communicating in a language that frequently uses them, such as Spanish. For example, saying voy a levantar instead of voy a levantarme could make people think you're going to lift something rather than that you're going to get up. Pretty embarrassing. So understanding reflexive verbs is really important for clear and accurate communication. Now, reflexive verbs can be sorted into different categories like feelings and actions. Let's start with feelings. So if we take an emotional state, for example, alegrarse, me alegro de verte. Enfadarse, ella se enfada fácilmente. Asustarse, me asusto fácilmente. Calmarse, me calmo cuando sé que estás en casa. Next, there are actions when you're both the doer and the receiver. For example, afeitarse, me afeito cada mañana. Maquillarse, ella siempre se maquilla antes de salir. Ducharse, nos duchamos por la noche. Then there's reciprocal actions. These are actions that people do to each other. For instance, abrazarse. Nos abrazamos para despedirnos. Besarse. Ellos se besan en la primera cita. Amarse. Se aman profundamente. Then there's routine or habitual actions, things we do a lot, daily, frequently. And as we already saw in the first few examples, reflexive verbs often describe these daily routines. For example, despertarse. Me despierto a las 6. Acostarse. Te acuestas muy tarde. Lavarse. Nos lavamos las manos antes de comer. In English, we do have reflexive actions, but they're expressed in a different way grammatically. For example, I wash myself, or she looked at herself in the mirror. Notice how myself and herself reflect the action back to the subject. I wash myself and she looks at herself. That's exactly what reflexive verbs do in Spanish. They show that the subject and the object are the same person. So lavarse is literally to wash oneself. So think of this se as meaning oneself. To conjugate reflexive verbs, you'll need reflexive pronouns. These are me, te, se, nos, os, se. Let's take lavarse again. If you're saying I wash myself, you'd say yo me lavo. Me here is the reflexive pronoun and lavo is from the verb lavar, conjugated to match the subject yo. Let's see some more examples from the verb peinarse. Yo me peino. Tú te peinas. Él, ella se peina. Nosotros nos peinamos. Vosotros os peináis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes se peinan. Breaking it down. Ella is the subject. Se is the reflexive pronoun that reflects back to ella. Peina is from peinar, conjugated to match ella. Ella se peina. The trick here is matching the subject with the correct reflexive pronoun. Here's a quick cheat sheet. Yo, me, tú, te, él, ella, usted, se, nosotros, nos, vosotros, os, ellos, ellas, ustedes, se. But what about using reflexive verbs in the negative form? How would you say, I don't shave myself? Yo no me afeito. Easy, right? You literally just place no before the reflexive pronoun to make it negative. Yo no me afeito. Now, some reflexive verbs are a bit sneaky, and by that I mean they don't always need to be reflexive. Like dormir means to sleep, but dormirse means to fall asleep. So, me duermo a las 10 means I fall asleep at 10. Me duermo a las 10. Now a challenge. Can you translate I wake up at 7 a.m. using despertarse?
A few moments later.
Okay, that would be Yo me despierto a las 7. Nice job if you got it. Let's try one more. Can you translate I brush my hair every morning? Okay, that would be Yo me peino cada mañana. Alright, now a quick tip. Sometimes you'll find verbs that can be reflexive or not, depending on the context. For instance, bañar means to bathe someone or something, but bañarse means to take a bath. Now, in this situation, context is really key. And remember, practice makes perfect. Or should I say, la práctica hace al maestro. I've got some additional everyday phrases that use reflexive verbs just to help you get more comfortable. Here we go. Me acuesto temprano. Te diviertes en la fiesta. Nos reunimos a las 5. ¿Te importa si vengo? So these verbs should give you a nice head start when using reflexive verbs in Spanish, but let's see how they're used in music. You know, songs can be an amazing way to learn a language. They stick in your head, right? And get you thinking about the language all the time. So let's look at some examples from famous songs that use reflexive verbs. The phrase voy a reírme in these lyrics means I'm going to laugh. Reírse is the reflexive verb for laughing. Me gustas tú by Manu Chao. This song has a line that goes Me gustan los aviones, me gustas tú. Listen to it if you haven't. Me gustan los aviones, me gustas tú. Me gusta viajar, me gusta. The reflexive verb here is gustarse, meaning to like. In Spanish, liking something or someone is kind of like that thing or person pleasing you. So me gustas tú literally means you please me. Then there's me enamoré by Shakira. The reflexive verb enamorarse means to fall in love. So me enamoré is I fell in love. Y la verdad es que me enamoré de Shakira cuando vi este video. Music really does stick in your head. It's a great way to learn a language. If you're not using LingoPie, a movie and music platform which enables you to follow lyrics and get grammar explanations for them in order to see how these words and phrases are used in context, then I really recommend checking it out. You can literally look at the lyrics and follow them and see how those words are used in context. Usually that platform costs $12 per month, but the link below this video is going to get you 7 days of access completely free. So go listen to Shakira and justify it as study time. Why would you not? Hopefully this video has helped and reflexive verbs in Spanish aren't as intimidating to you as they may have seemed at first. It's literally just a question of practice. If you found this video useful, you know exactly what to do. Hit that thumbs up button and share this video far and wide, and let me know how you are learning grammar and if you have any tips or recommendations. How are you learning Spanish? Just let me know in the comments below. Te puedes ir. See what I did there? Te puedes ir from irse. Yeah. Anyway, hasta luego and happy learning.